James Melendez. Welcome to my tasting table. These three wines are next from the producer Miguel Torres, called Las Mulas, a Sauvignon Blanc, Rosé, and a Cabernet Sauvignon. Stay tuned to get my thoughts, perspectives, and point score on each of these wines. Stay tuned. So, first of all, the Zero Emissions Day is coming up. That's September 21st. And it's something I think about quite a bit. And it's also in terms of, say, this producer, they're committed to zero emissions by the year 2050. Now, this producer has decreased the weight of the bottle, and so they committed to that. They do have another further benchmark in the year 2030 to be at 60% reduction. And so they're really focusing on three areas, that is waste management, renewable energy, as well as sustainable viticulture. Now, one thing I'm going to point out is I wrote an article called Heavy Bottles Have Not Left the Building. They are still with us. And the feature there was there's so many heavy bottles that exist in the US market today. And I don't know how many exist, but the article I pointed out in terms of where the bottles are manufactured to the point where they go to the producer and out to the customer can be a very, very long path. Now, my estimates were conservative, but I think they're meaningful enough to apply and think about this in terms of the industry. So I think Miguel Torres is doing a fantastic job of really honoring these commitments and looking towards the future of making zero emissions. Now, the Sauvignon Blanc is from Valle Central, 21 vintage, 13% ABV, and here's a back panel for you to look at here. So I think, beyond the certifications, which you'll see right here, I think they're important certifications. First of all, organic fruit production, EcoCert certified, as well as vegan friendly certified. And I think those are really important measures to many consumers out there. And also they're pointing out certain features that I think are worth looking at, such as lighter weight bottles, renewable energy, reforestation of Patagonia, no use of pesticides, and care for earth and environmental balance. So I think that's a nice testimony to live up to those commitments. Now, all these wines are in the mid-teens. I think it's a really good price point and quite delicious wine. So you can have all these features that are earth-friendly and are still delicious wines. So let me talk first about the nose on this wine. So very nice, bright citrus notation, Amalfi lemon, tart yellow stone fruit, as well as beeswax and floral notation. Next is the palate characterization. Lovely wine. This is giving the character of Amalfi lemon as well as Yellowstone fruit. A savory mid palate, which I very much enjoy, and fresh flowers. This wine is 92 points out of 100 points. And next is a rosé. So here is, I'll show you the bottle first, the 22 rosé, and I reviewed the 21. I'll place that video right up here. Now this wine is 13.5%. It's a combination of Pinot Noir and Mourvedre. And so here's a front label and here's a back label. And so let me get some in my wine glass. I think it's a lovely wine and fantastic price point. And so here we go. So let's talk first about the nose. So it's a very nice fresh nose, mountain strawberry, early season cherry, a hint of microgreens and floral notation. Next is the palate characterization. Very nicely aptly dry wine, red cherry, early season red cherry, as well as raspberry notation, gentle spice notes, savory core, and a hint of violet. So this wine is 92 points out of 100 points. Next is a Cabernet Sauvignon. And so this is Valle Central, this is 21 vintage. So on the back label, some great call outs here. Now it's organic grapes that are utilized. It is vegan friendly, 13.5% ABV, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon. And so I think it's a really nice wine, again, in the mid-teens. I think it's a really good price point. And a picture right here so you can see all the certifications and call outs that the producer is doing to get to the zero emissions for all their wines. So here we go with this wine here, and some in my wine glass, and I'll give you some notes on this wine. I very much enjoy this wine. I think it's completely, such a nice wine, especially for the price point. It hits a lot of, I would say, check boxes for a lot of people, including myself. So it's a good value price point, delicious food-friendly wine. And so it's also a nice sense of earth kindness and earth sensitivity in terms of production and commitments. So I like the character on the wine of rich bramble notes, cassis, suede character, as well as a Talma fruit orchard, tarragon, spices as well. Next is the palate characterization. So the palate is very expressive, a very acid forward wine, black bramble, freshly ground spices, pepper, clove, and tarragon. And so this wine is 92 points out of 100 points. More information on the producer down below, questions and comments. I'm listing the 3 areas that they are focusing in on to get to zero emissions by 2050. Earth Day and also Zero Emissions Day is coming up on the 21st of September. So I think there's a part we can all play and to help our planet out with the CO2 reduction. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video review. And be sure to give a like, subscribe to this channel. You'll find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Tumblr. I appreciate it, and I will see you very soon. Salud.